Here's your lesson on 45, 45, 90, and 30, 60, 90, special right triangles. So first, 45, 45, 90. What's the first thing you need to know? It's a right triangle. Good. It's isosceles, which means two sides are the same length. And so the ratio of those two sides that are the same length are 1 and 1. And the hypotenuse is root 2. If I know any part there, I can find all parts by either multiplying or dividing by root 2 or knowing it is isosceles. So in this case, the leg is 1 and the hypotenuse is root 2. So let's see what that means. So I look, the 45 across, that's 8. That means the other one that's not 90 across, right? The other side that's isosceles is the same length. So x is also 8. And then to find y, I multiply by root 2. So you're either going to multiply or divide what direction you're going. Here, y is 25. And then to find the hypotenuse, you multiply that by root 2. Here, I know 19. I don't know the other one. So I'm going to divide. So there's one way. And I'm going to show you something. We'll maybe get to it later. But you should be able to change the denominator to a rational number. So both sides would be 19 root 2 over 2. They're the same length. But if you wrote it as 19 over root 2, that's fine. So what's the key number? Is to either multiply or divide by root 2, what direction you're going. 30, 60, 90. Here's another special right triangle because I know the angles and the sides that go with it. So the shorter leg is opposite of 30. That's 1. Okay? So I have to identify the 30 and across from 30. We call that opposite is 1. The hypotenuse is double that. It's 2. And then opposite of 60 is root 3. So I remember as 1, 2, root 3. So if you know the short leg, then you can multiply by root 3 or divide, whatever direction you're going. And then you could double the short one to get the hypotenuse. So really that short one gives us a lot of information that we need to know. All right, so here I only see 60. Well, that means this one over here is 30. So opposite of 30 is 5, so the hypotenuse is double that. And x you multiply by root 3, and you have your two sides. So again, the short leg really gives me a lot of information. So x is the hypotenuse, I'm going to double it, and then y I multiply by root 3 to get that side. Here I don't know x, but I can find it. The hypotenuse is 32, so to go in the other direction I divide by 2. So x is this, and then once I know the short leg, I multiply it by root 3 to find the other leg. Here again I know the hypotenuse. I go right away and understand where's 30. The shorter leg then is half of that. And then that means the longer leg, you take the same number times root 3. Try to make it simple, right? So this one is a little bit different because it's the longer leg. So how I find that is first I divide by root 3. And I'm just going to leave it that way. So this is 20 divided by root 3. And then you double that answer for the hypotenuse. You could rationalize it, but that's not a skill we're learning right now. I'm happy that you know when to multiply or divide by root 3 and then to double the short leg for the hypotenuse. Here again, 60. So the long leg is 9 root 3. Again, divide by root 3, and that gives you the short leg, which is x, and then double that answer, and that gives you the hypotenuse. All right, turn the page. Here's some mixed practice understanding those numbers. So for 45, again, we're going to divide by root 2, both of it. So I'm just going to leave it that way. So 28 divided by root 2. For here again, this is a 60, 30, 90. So half of 16 gives me the short leg, and then multiply that by root 3 for the longer leg. Here, those sides are the same length, and then multiply by root 2 to find the hypotenuse. So when the side is longer, we're multiplying. When it's shorter, we're dividing. 13. Identify it. So opposite of 30, so that means the hypotenuse is double that. And then we take that same number and multiply by root 3 for the leg. Identify it. It's opposite of 60, so we're dividing. So when I divide by root 3, the root 3's divide out, the shorter leg is 15, and then double that answer for the hypotenuse. Here we're dividing to find the leg, so divide by root 2, and you get 9, and both are the same length because they are isosceles. Here, 6 is opposite of 60. This is 30 up here. So we divide by root 3 and then double that answer. That's for the, oops, I mixed up. The y is the shorter leg. I'm going to just do this. And the x is the longer side. Here, I'm going to divide by root 2. Now 10 divided by 2 is 5, so that's actually root 5. Both of them. Nice and simple. Some practice with square roots, which we haven't done much yet. 18. So 38 is the hypotenuse. So half of that is the shorter one. That's 19. And then multiply that number times root 3 to find the longer leg. Oh, some mixed triangles here. So what do I know? So I know here, opposite here is 9. So the hypotenuse z is double that. And this leg right here, we have to divide. So we go 9 divided by root 3. That's the hypotenuse, right? So that's the hypotenuse for the second one. And then I take that answer and divide by root 2. So that becomes 9 divided by root 6. That was a little tricky. But in court, the big numbers to remember is that multiplying or dividing by root 2 or root 3. All right. So let's see what we have here. So this is the hypotenuse here. So that's 32 root 2 multiplying. The side that's connected here, this is also 32 because it's isosceles. And that's the hypotenuse. So half of that is the smaller leg. That's 16. And then take that answer times root 3, and you have all three parts, like a little puzzle putting together. Opposite of 30 here, it's going to be 6. We need the shared side, so that's going to be 6 root 3 is the shared side. So that means y is also 6 root 3. And then to find z, you multiply by root 2 to find it. And that's going to be 6 root 6. You just multiply the insides together. Let's see this one. So this is what's given. That's 60. That means this here is 30. So if I double it, that gives me the hypotenuse there. That's 14 root 3. To find this, we're going to multiply by root 3 to find the other one. So if I go root 3 times root 3, that gives me 3. So that means this side here is 21. So if that's 21, then if I double it, that gives me 42. And if I take 21 times root 3, that gives me the other leg. Kind of tricky, right? Looking at it all. These are the challenging ones. All right, so we have isosceles. So if that's 15 root 2, I divide by root 2. So that means z is 15. That also means this side's also 15 because they're isosceles. So opposite of 60 is that. So we can go 15 divided by root 3. That's going to be the short one. 15 divided by root 3. And then the hypotenuse, we double that answer. And you have 30 over root 3. All right, last one. So here we have, this is opposite of 60. So to find the short leg, I divide by root 3. So I take 18. Oops, I'm doing z. 18 divided by root 3. To find this hypotenuse, we double that answer. So that side that we don't see there, that's double that, which is 36 over root 3. And then to find the legs, we take that answer and divide by root 2. So that'll end up being 36 divided by root 6 for x and y. All right, there's some practice with the lesson. Now we'll do the homework together. Mr. G Math, over and out.